Ooh, zippity bam! Hey everybody, welcome back to Karandrin Role Playing. My name is Kevin Nanus Pennings, also known as Crack Palantir, and I'll be your host and game master for this episode 165 of Brise's Tale. As always, my good buddy Max is right down there, and he'll be playing the beautiful and talented paladin Brise while the session goes. Max, why don't you say hello to the lovely people?
Sorry, did you say something?
No, my bad.
Hey, everybody.
That's my line. As tired as I am, that's what I'll be doing.
I need to silence my phone. I forgot to do that.
I'm just gonna doze off while you talk. You know,
because when you went live and then it dinged, and I'm like, oh yeah. Well, at least we know we're live.
That's right.
Yeah, I hope everyone's having a very wonderful night. Episode, what are we on? 165.
165 is crazy. So it sounds like we're not going to hit 200 this year. I think we'll be just short of it. I think we'll be like 190 or something.
Well, sounds like we need to start doing 5-minute episodes. And then
well, thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you in 10 minutes.
down the numbers.
Blow the numbers. So we are in for a pretty tense and exciting episode today, tonight, because we've got an impending combat scenario coming up that may not be the best idea, but it may be unavoidable. So why don't you fill us in on where we left off, and sort of lay the scene for us, and we will get right started. We'll jump right into it.
Yeah, so Brise, while trying to seek out some information on the giants in this valley of the area of Nargaz, she encountered a druid by the name of Sheercall, who is a lizard folk, the Sith they are called, and she is coincidentally also looking for the giants, specifically trying to find a secret entrance to their mines so that she can free the goblin slaves they've been keeping there. And I've agreed to help her to try to find this entrance as well, and hopefully get some a better way to find out some information on what the giants are up to and what they might be planning in the near future. So on our way to try to find this secret entrance, climbing up the mountain slope, there we spot 6 creatures tailing us, seem to be tracking us. These small, they only come up to our up to my knees, but there's numerous. There's about 6 of them that I can see. Small bulbous creatures with spindly legs ending in claws, tattered leathery wings and hard hooked beaks. They kind of hop and flutter along, but they don't seem to really fly.
Kind of bound.
Right. And they do carry weapons, short bows, cutlasses, and they seem to be of good make, so potentially warriors or at least competent smiths. So we are now hidden about 50 feet away. We're disguised by some of Sheercall's druidic arts, and hoping that these creatures will either ignore us or go off in another direction. But we are ready to fight if it comes to that. So.
Yeah, and the complication here is that you're trying not to attract the attention of giant patrols or
any
patrols by the giants.
Magic,
right? Right. The magic aspect of it is because Lady Crom, the ruler, we know to be a powerful wielder of magic. Trying to find it. There we go. And she is, we know at least one instance she detected being spied upon magically, and basically put an end to that quite violently from miles away. So there's a real effort to make this a very covert operation. The clanging of armor and weapons is not the way to go. The creatures appear to be tracking you by sight, by imprint on the ground. And you guys, having realized you've been trailed, have now done your best to leave as little of trail as possible. And so you guys are about, I think it was
50 feet away.
50 feet away, right. Very close.
Right. And they're inspecting our prints where we were
right.
standing just moments ago.
Kirshal has cast a couple of spells on you. She whispers to you that one of the spells will dissipate with sudden movement. And so we can creep along and maintain it. But once we attack or are attacked, in all likelihood, the spell will vanish.
Right.
So
I also have Azrael at my feet.
Right. Azrael is your
feline familiar.
Feline familiar. That's right. And I was going to tell you, we went and saw some movies past couple of weeks, and the Smurf movie's coming out, so you'll get to see the real Azrael in action. You have to go to see the Smurf movie.
What do you mean the Smurf movie's coming out? There's been Smurf movies.
Well, I mean, there's a new one about to come out just for you.
Oh my!
It does feature Gargamel and Azrael, his cat, and so creepy as that is. So, yeah. So, roll for me.
Rolling 88.
It occurs to you, and it must not have occurred to Kirshal, that even if you were to win this battle, you're gonna have to do something with 6 or more bodies.
Right.
And
way too obvious. The smell would attract anything for miles.
You're right. And then you're talking about vultures circling and marking the spot of the battle.
Right.
So I don't know if this is something that you want to mention to Kirshal in terms of something that affects your plans, or if you're just committed to combat.
Let's whisper to her. I mean, we're far enough away. I should be able to whisper, just saying, even if we defeat them, we'll need to do something with the bodies. Let's pray that they move along, or we can evade them.
Roll for me.
53.
Do we avoid combat altogether? Do we risk a teleport?
I say I would advise against that. I've teleported before, and that brought them up. That brought the giants upon me immediately. In this valley.
Yeah, not even on the mountain. You were halfway down the valley, miles away.
They just showed up. Knew I was there.
So she nods and lets out a slow breath, and she raises her composite bow, and
I should have my short sword, right? Short sword.
I swear you sound more like me in my exhausted state than I sound in my exhausted state.
Yeah, short sword. So if I can make sure I have that drawn in my target shield of sluggishness.
I guess you don't want to go for channeling because it's magic.
Oh, that's a good
yeah, it's gonna be tough. So you're gonna have to, you're in a weird place you could throw a spear. That might be worth considering.
So I actually, I know I said short sword, but actually now I remember I would have my flail of fairness instead.
Oh, that's right. So no shield, flare.
That's +10 for each aggressive opponent, and there's 6. So
Yeah.
Better to have that in hand. So that's going to be my best weapon in this fight.
Yeah, it's going to be as long as they're within reach, you're going to be able to cream one of those guys. I mean, it's such a flails are so deadly, cumbersome but deadly.
That's I want to be known like that. Cumbersome but deadly.
Exactly. You're already known as silent but deadly. So there's
silent and cumbersome and deadly.
That's right.
The adjectives. Welcome, Quinn. Indeed, 1 in the hand is worth 2 in the sting. Not sure. I'm not sure if that's true, but I'll
1 in the hand. Oh, Quinn, you're a practitioner. You know, we all know that you know. A fist in the. Never mind.
Oh man.
Half the party is going forward. There is indeed only 6 of them. Should roll their weapons really quickly.
I guess short bows, cutlasses, and other light weapons is what I wrote down. So
yeah,
that narrows it down. Actually, it says here they were unarmed and very injured.
Yeah.
Ready to flee at a moment's notice.
Half blind. This is really great.
The odds are. Why haven't we fought these things yet?
Quick roll of other weapons. A club, another cutlass, and a hand axe.
Ooh, excuse me. Are any of those more particularly dangerous than the others?
The short bow is your real problem.
Right.
Although it's heavily enough wooded here, it may be almost useless. She's probably going to get right, and she's going to get probably 1 shot with her composite bow, and then as they scattered, I mean, just she's shooting through holes in the canopy. Right. We had 2 pregnant. Yeah, and they're asleep, Quinn. Right there. So half continue. The other half begin moving through the forest upslope toward you guys.
Okay.
Kirshal, I mean, just sort of is drawing and is looking at you and is sort of waiting. I mean,
yeah,
she's deferring to you.
I say I'll wait till they're in range, and I'll raise my flail to strike, and then I'll nod at her, and once they're in range, I'll swing at them.
Well, you may have to charge a few steps in, right, to get. I mean, it's a flail. There is no real range.
I was just saying once they are upon us,
right? But if they get, she'll have to probably shoot first.
Oh, right, because if they're too close, then she can't.
She can't really make use of. She risks losing a composite bow if they are able to get a jump on her. And so she's got to fire when firing is good.
Okay. Okay. So then I'll, tell her, tell me when you're ready to fire, and I'll charge.
She nods. She's aiming. She can't wait long. I mean, they're creeping, but they'll be here in 3 or 4 rounds, even at this rate. They're not really bounding. Here's too wooded for them to really make use of any great height in their bounds. They don't seem to get above 12 or 15 feet in the open. when they make these sort of flapping bounds.
12, 15 feet long?
Both long and high.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's
higher than I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very ungraceful. It's just weird, sort of bounding, flapping nonsense.
Those frogs that are never land right side up.
Oh, those are so funny to watch.
Their ears are so small. There's no
sense of balance. They have no sense of balance, and so they can jump great, but they can't land at all. It's worth going and watching a YouTube video on if you're interested. So, I'm just going to roll which half coming this way. That half is coming this way. What's her best shot? Last guy is her best shot. She lets fly. Guy with a hand axe in front just goes down.
All right. Charge out at the next closest one.
Wow. That is hilarious. They run. They are so surprised. I rolled for their reaction. 02 and 04. They're so shocked. They're just routed.
Wow.
Roll. You've got a cutlass in front of you. He is turning to flee. If you make a high enough roll, you can close and clobber him. Now, you may wish to restrain the blow if you wish. I'm
going to take these guys out.
No. Look on your face. I want you to go back and revisit that look when we're done with the stream.
Mercy? I don't think so.
Not feeling it. Are you setting anything for parry?
No, let's go all out.
Okay. I've got your sheet. So you've got 3 in front of you. It's going to be that's just unfortunate. Roll it up.
Boom, 75.
You close. You can definitely strike. Roll for the attack.
38.
That's still off the charts. That's how many bonuses you have against this guy.
Thank you.
Because he does turn, which means his back is to you. You just drive him into the ground. You grimace as, this is a chained weapon, and so there's just a loud flailing of chain going down. But he is just completely destroyed. The guy with the club is screeching and chittering and is going madly across the clearing.
I'm gonna keep, I'll gesture to Sheer Call to follow, and I'm gonna keep charging after them. Drive them off.
But remember, if you go after the one that's fleeing, you'll present your flank to the ones that moved ahead. Only half. Remember, half moved off.
They're not fleeing back toward the group?
No.
Oh, I see.
You route. It's a route. I don't know if you know the military definition of a route. There's a retreat and there's a route.
Oh, I see.
A retreat is orderly and people are still firing and holding the enemy back. Mm-hmm. Supplies are sometimes grabbed up hastily and moved. A rout is people turn their backs to the enemy and throw their own weapons down and run desperately.
Funny. What a word, uncharacteristic word to sound so chaotic. It's like,
And
let's have a bit of a rout. Why don't we?
that's right. And that's when you like hear like a massive sports defeat.
Right.
You know, it wasn't just a defeat; it was a
Routing,
rout. It's why, of course, you know, in networking, routers are. No, I'm kidding. I have no joke that I can lead up to that. I was just.
Routers are always going down. They're always
That's right.
fucking up everything.
You got them shot in the back. It's terrible. So.
Okay, yeah, then I'll let him run off, and I'll charge the other three to scare them off as well.
Kearshaw joins you. She is left her crossbow, composite bow behind. She has her she has a short sword drawn. She's amazingly fast. She's got some considerable height on her. She's several inches taller than you are. Although you've probably seen taller of her species. But she clearly sort of keeps you in front. You know, she's deferring to you as the expert here. Oh, excuse me.
You see that cheer call? He's routed. That's what we call it.
That's right. All right, roll. Let's see if either one of you can see through this thick woods. What'd you roll?
Roll the.
Yeah, please roll.
Yeah, 92.
Oh, nice.
Good rolls this session.
Short bow is coming out of the woods about 30 feet away, knocks a bow hastily, fires at Kearshaw. Passes over her shoulder. Following in bounding fashion is one armed with a short sword. The third one of that party is not to be seen. All right, it is time to roll initiative.
Okay. 5.
They are rolling ass. I mean, just absolute ass. 2, 2, 1. Oh, great. She's gonna beat you all. She can't wait on you. Short bow's coming down. She can't use magic. She's got to close and hope she can hold her own. She crosses in front of you. Well, let's talk about your action first, actually. What's your plan? What is your intent?
Can I reach the one with the short bow and attack this round?
Yes, you can.
Okay. And that's what I'm going to do. Unless Sheercall goes for him first.
Well, you won't know. I mean, this is your plan. You know, you can change plans and take a penalty, but, you know, you're at a point, quite frankly, you're such a veteran now. Your character's been in the world so long that changing plans, while it still affects you, right, because it throws you off your game a little bit, you're so skilled, it's just it's not a big deal.
Pick right back up.
Yeah.
I'm such a veteran, I should be getting benefits.
That's hilarious.
Why am I still fighting?
I just explained to you the benefits. You
don't should be paying for the rest of my.
That's right. Well, you know they've got healers there. That's the VA for you, the VA hospital, and so she cuts in front of you. She's just quicker than all of you, and you just did not realize how quick of a species the Sith are.
Right.
She is closing on the short bow. The short bow has discarded his. He's got a short sword too. Discarded his short bow, and switched to a short sword. How committed do I think of a fighter she is? What do I think? Not super. So she's going to do 50-50. Swings, knocks the guy backwards. You see the bright pink blood of this particular species spray across trees. The creature is knocked back, but not down.
Is this the short bow?
This, was the short bow who is now, swapped out, knowing that battle was now going to be toe to toe. You charge ahead.
So if I could go after the other one instead, because I don't want to be in close range flinging this flail around.
Sure.
With
So make a roll. If the roll is high enough, you get no penalty for changing your time.
34.
Not great. Some penalty.
Okay.
You close in on second short sword. We're doing all out attack again, or we're going to hold some back?
All out. One and done, each of these guys.
All right. Yeah, these guys have taken it. He was really close to pegging poor Kershaw, but was not quite high enough. All right. Roll your attack.
84.
84. Throws up the short sword to block your flail. You tear it out of his arm. The flail just takes his head completely off in shreds. I mean, that's grotesque. Again, the loud clanking, you're just waiting for the other giant shoe to drop, but there's nothing you can do about that. That guy tumbles into the grass. First short sword swings on Kershaw. Kershaw knocks the short sword clear of his hands because the guy rolled a 3 and Kershaw was parrying.
There you go.
He is now disarmed except for his claws and beak. At the end of the round, Cutlass guy bounds into the area. He is the last, so long as you are confident there's 6. This is number 6.
Right.
Time to roll experience. Roll.
Oh, okay. I guess we're doing experience now.
That's right. We're gonna do the whole stream. Just completely derail it.
7.
So let's roll initiative. That's what the word I'm looking for.
3.
3. Sorry, I know.
I need to roll one of them, so
it's weird. I know.
Yeah.
5, 7. Yeah. So what is your plan?
Can I reach the Cutlass guy?
No problem. 2 or 3 steps.
Same thing. Go after him and flail him down.
Kershaw leaps over some vegetation and rock. Let's talk about. I think there's one left. I don't know. I think she's still going to be cautious. I think she's going to hold on to some parry. She swings on the Cutlass. Oh my God. Rolls a 188 before I add any of her skills.
You sure she's a druid?
Jesus. Rolls a 98 for her critical.
Damn. These are not. We don't even. I mean, these things aren't like. I don't know how tough they are. They haven't even scratched us yet. But
Right.
we don't need these rolls now. We
Well,
need them the
yeah,
giants
exactly.
discover us.
Right.
Uh,
It's a slash across the throat. The guy totters, holding his neck, goes down in the grass. It looks like Pepto everywhere, but with their bright pink blood. It's a J.K. Rowling. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, you can imagine having 2 rounds of this where you would have 2 more attacks against you every turn. It was that route that really saved you, because you would have had 2 attacks going against you guys that you couldn't parry.
Right.
And would probably come from your flank.
Us, there's not
yeah.
Anymore, yeah.
Right. And so that's where multiple attacks really get you.
Although my flail of fairness lets me make 1 additional parry.
Nice.
Enemy, so
if you were interested.
So bring them on more.
Well, all right, another dozen. I hear you.
All right. Come out of the wood. We'll be here all night.
So you guys both stand there, so looking at each other, breathing hard. You're caught in that moment of, oh God, we got to look around. We got to get our, we don't have time to celebrate, kind of a thing.
Did we take down the guy with the cutlass, or?
Oh wait. Yeah. Oh wait. You have to attack him. That's the attack we're waiting. Forgive me. Sorry.
She looks at me and she's like,
"Oh wait, yes. No. She killed him. She bounded over and killed him."
Oh, I see. She killed both of them. Okay.
Yes. So yeah, she happened to kill both the cutlasses. How weird is that?
Right.
Quinn, would you look up for me what make the cutlass model of car was? Would you look that up for me? I keep wanting to make a cutlass car joke, and I just can't.
They're actually driving cars through the forest. They're making so much noise. Just a disaster.
So just instinctively, you guys just both kind of quickly jog to under cover of trees.
Right.
And you're just waiting, you're listening, you're just, you guys look at each other. Oldsmobile. Thanks, Quinn. It's driving me crazy. Oldsmobile Cutlass. So
I kind of, whisper to her, do you think we have time to bury the bodies, or should we just distance ourselves from here as fast as possible?
She's still waiting and just listening. See where you guys are. What time of day was it? I should have asked you that earlier.
We woke at dawn, but we've been climbing for a while, for about an hour. So a couple hours after dawn.
Okay, so mid-morning.
Yeah.
Look at Obi-Wan chiming in with Oldsmobile too, or she just listened to the stream and acted like she was smart. Who thought that was a good name for a manufacturer of cars? You want my Oldsmobile?
I just looked it up. I was expecting to be some Model T. It's actually just 1999. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's vintage yet.
Yeah, I don't know what the definition of vintage is. Quinn, look it up.
More like 80s, 70s, 80s.
Right.
But I'm almost 30, so maybe my perspective is skewed on what's recent and what's not.
All right. Well, I know mine certainly is. Karen and I were just talking about, we think of early 2000s as that was current. It was, but no, that was not current. That is.
I still think some designs from the early 2000s look way more futuristic than stuff that comes out today. When are we going to get that?
Bring it back, baby. Bring it back.
Cougar Arrow.
Be a fashion icon. Okay. Vintage cars. Yeah, vintage cars, Quinn. And now Obi-Wan's divorcing me. The Oldsmobile divorce. It's a car that conveniently can be split in two. I'm really proud of that. I'm proud of that joke. That's funny.
But once you do that, it can never get back together again.
Exactly.
Permanent
It
shame.
never fits quite right, and there's only one side can have children, and
due to the weight distribution.
that's right. It's like a whole only one side gets the back seat. They're just all alone and miserable. Ransom Old. Oldsmobile was an evolution of Olds motor vehicles founded by, no lie, Quinn says, Ransom Old. That is funny.
Old Ransom.
Um,
that was the I always forget, it's Kill Mockingbird, right?
What is?
Ransom? No. I forget the name of their family. That had an odd name.
Whose family?
The odd family in To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh yeah.
And the kid who's kind of a little aloof.
Radley. Boo Radley.
Boo, that's what it was. Boo
right.
Radley. Why Boo Ransom? Where did I come up with that? Never mind. Okay.
Oh, vintage
Strike
is
that didn't happen.
That's right. Vintage is 1919 and between 1919 and 1930. Interesting. Quinn is my favorite streaming wiki, I gotta say. Very handy. Thank you, Quinn.
Wikipedia.
That's right, Quinnipedia.
Yeah, 1930. Wow. Okay, so yeah, we're she's listening.
Yeah, and you're listening and watching.
I'll have Azrael do the same with his senses.
Concentrate on Azrael. Azrael looks past you both, back the way you came, and concentrating. You can feel her paying attention to a vibration in her paws through the earth. But there's no real sound.
Okay.
Do you want to pass that info on?
Yes. Say my cat familiar is feeling vibrations. They're not good vibrations.
If we can't hear them, Kirsal says, I think we have time. But I'll go with whatever you want to do. How do you feel about leadership positions? Because you're kind of in handy.
I believe my character sheet says pretty comfortable being a leader, especially people are subordinate to me. I don't mind taking that role.
Okay.
Yeah. So I tell her I think we should, hightail it out of this area,
and not move the bodies. In other words,
right. If we can make enough distance, the giants won't know, where to find us.
She nods.
Is there any, check on any of us? Is there any blood or anything on us that would, sense of smell might give us away?
Yeah, on both of you. I mean, there's unavoidably.
Yeah.
The chains whipping back around.
Right.
Sprayed you pretty decently. Both her shots were so impressive that there was a lot of bloodshed and very close quarters. So,
if we try to stream and wash it off, I say. Do you been in this area a little longer? Do you know of any streams that might be on this side of the mountain?
Not nearby, no. So, she goes deeper in the forest. She just tears off handfuls of leaves and wipes.
Yeah.
It's not going to really help a lot, but it's something you got time to do before the patrol of the giants reaches.
I should have a spare shirt. I'll take that out and use that to just, mop up whatever blood I can, and I'll leave that behind.
So you change your shirt and then use the dirty shirt to wipe up.
Oh, yeah, if I have time.
Yeah, I mean, you've got. I mean, you know when they're going to be.
My jerkin, right? I don't know if I can take that off quickly. And
Yeah, that's the fastest armor to take off. It only takes one round to get a jerkin off,
right,
or to jerk off, whatever you want to call it.
Get your jerkin off.
That's right.
It's also it's an eel skin jerking off, so lots of contortions going on.
That's right. That's right. Depends on the length of your eel, honestly.
Perfect full circle to Quinn's comment. Not as fun as a leadership position as the reverse downward missionary.
That's right.
Which becomes much easier with the eel skin leather jerkin.
A lot of contortions there. So she goes and retrieves her composite bow. She believes the patrols are moving. I always get this wrong. West to east.
Okay.
So they're moving toward the sun right now. That is, and Azrael looked across you both to the west, and no doubt must be feeling the footsteps of the giants upon the mountainside.
Right.
I should move this up here instead of listing it. So she says, I think we should go higher. And then cut back toward the west.
Okay.
We'll pass the giants, but there's no helping that now.
Right.
There never was.
Would they be on their patrol path if they're coming from the west this direction?
Hopefully, yes. Otherwise, something else has attracted their attention.
They actually are, drawn by something.
Right. Soothing. Can you hear that? Soothing. I know, right? It's like a Hindi rave.
Have you ever been to a Hindi rave? I've been to one.
They run from midnight to 6 when you don't want them.
They're really unforgettable.
Roll. Excuse me. She takes the lead because she's more familiar with what she's looking for than you are. Mm-hmm. Where do you want Azrael?
I'll have him just behind me and just tune in every once in a while. I guess he has to be resting to really hear.
Well, he can. He probably can differentiate your noises from other things much better than you guys can.
Yeah, if I can every now and then just tune into him.
Right.
His senses.
She maintains a really brisk pace. Not really caring about silence at first. Mm-hmm. And sort of comes up panting. You guys have gone several minutes at a good clip. You're probably a quarter mile now from the battle site.
Okay.
You're both pretty winded. You're both at half exhaustion.
Okay.
She says, what do you say we find some cover and rest before we move on?
Agreed. There we go.
She points to a crazy thicket. Just ahead. Oh, it looks impenetrable. She kind of cuts a hole through, finds a way through, and picks her way into the center of this. I mean, I rolled the quality of the hiding, and it's off the charts. I mean, it's just
patch.
It is. I mean, it's just a dome of bramble and thick brush with a cool interior. She plops down, you plop down, catching your breath. Give Azrael some focus. Tremors are stronger. There's a distant sound of the upper leaves moving that Azrael can detect. You guys both strain. You mentioned it to Kirshal, and you both strain to hear. You guys can't hear it, but Azrael can dimly pick it out.
Is her name, is it Kirshal or Sheercall?
Oh, I forget. What is it?
I wrote down Sheercall.
Sheercall, sorry. What do I have? I just input her stuff in the thing. I may have typed it in incorrectly.
Yeah,
the database.
Sheercall is, yeah, so we'll go with Sheercall. Kirshal, Sheercall. Kirshal.
Wait, you have which one down?
I have Sheercall. Sheerkal.
Okay, my bad. Yeah, I had it transposed. I will make that correction. Correct. Sheercall. Sorry. That is also my fatigue playing with us, unfortunately. And that is not helpful. Here we go. Azrael seems interested in things in the brush. You're like, go for it. We're going to be here for several minutes. You guys, take water. Is there anything strategy-wise you guys need to talk about? Next phase, anything like that? You guys are.
I guess we do want to have a plan. If we are detected by the giants, our best bet is teleporting out of the valley. I say, I can teleport us somewhere safe if you don't mind.
We'll have to stay very close for that to work.
Right.
Way to screw up the names, Vinka.
Vinka.
Jack, when I play any sort of Star Trek related game or anything, I choose the character name Nivek, which is my name backwards, but was actually a Star Trek character. He was the Romulan who helped Troy on the Romulan ship and Next Gen. So I was like, oh, look, it's my name backwards. And so I've always used that. And I was not sleep deprived when I chose that.
Don't you hate it when you spell your names backwards by accident?
Sheercall says, she just wishes there was an easier way to find this because we could be pouring over this mountainside for weeks and never come across this. I would hate to return empty-handed when my employer is missing his family.
Mm-hmm. What, I ask her, are there any, if we had to return, right, what preparations could we come with to help make finding this easier? Is there any magic item or spell we could have prepared? Scroll, perhaps?
The best way is also the worst way. I've considered it several times. It's flying over the slope, looking for the clearing. But I don't see how we could possibly do that.
Right. What if we had a potion of invisibility and we were flying?
Those potions don't last very long. We would need several.
I was going to make a stupid joke. What if I wore blue and white clothes?
Yeah, sure. Well, yes. That's like why fish's bellies are, white.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Looking up from above.
My belly is white for entirely different reasons.
Not enough vitamin D. Not enough
It's funny
suntan.
you should say that because, as you may recall, I have a genetically failing liver, and that causes me to have insufficient vitamin D, and so I have to take a supplement. So, so yeah, you guys, mull it over. She's like, there are flying carpets that would be ideal for this, but again, would be so easy to detect.
Right.
And the higher we go, the less chance there is for us to see. But the less chance there would be for us to be detected. It's a paradox I don't know how to solve. Roll for me.
32.
There are the eagles, the great eagles.
Yeah, that's true. If they were flying over the valley, they wouldn't be as that might be more of a natural phenomenon.
Right. Yeah. Although no one's going to, no one among the giants is going to mistake a great eagle to be, it's there purposely.
Right.
But the thing is, if you do approach the eagles, you have to keep silent that you're trying to rescue goblins.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, you can't say that. You
hate each other. Yeah.
But you don't like lying. So, it's called Sky Blue for a reason, Princess. Episode written by Kevin McDonald, not confused with the comic of the same name. What? That episode written by Kevin McDonald, not confused with
Kevin McDonald, but not the Kevin McDonald, the comedian. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, comic. I'm sorry. I was thinking about comic book because I'm a writer. I was thinking comic book. Sorry, Quinn. Sky Blue for a reason. That's me. My Sky Blue Oldsmobile Cutlass. All right. You guys are at 3/4 exhaustion.
Okay.
And I say we take a break.
Wow, it's already 8. Okay.
Yeah, it went the combat and the tension always makes it go really fast. So, guys, we're going to go stretch our legs and refill our drinks. We hope you'll take the opportunity to do the same, and then we will be back as soon as we can. So just bear with us. We'll see you in a bit. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for waiting with us. Let's get our buddy Max back here. There's Max. I told you he wouldn't leave us. What are you laughing at?
I'm just so psyched to be here, Kevin.
You looked electrified. Electrocuted is what you looked.
If I was electrocuted, I wouldn't be moving, but
you would curl up and smoke. It's a nasty habit, both curling up and smoking. Yeah. So
I think we still resting. So we're back up to a quarter exhaustion.
3/4.
Sorry, yeah, 3/4. Resting actually was tough.
It was tough. You failed your rest roll, and
like when you take a nap and you wake up, you're like, I'm more tired. And it's night now.
That's how I feel about naps. I hate naps.
Yeah,
I wish they worked. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I want to ask Sheer Call about if there's any type of magic for detecting a a species or a type of creature from a distance. I mean, because if we knew there were goblins beneath the earth, that would very much narrow down our search. Unless the secret passage is not close to where they're working, right, in the mines.
My understanding is it is not. It's several hundred feet. And even if they were right outside the entrance, it's a mountain.
Right.
It would take a considerably powerful sorcerer to cast a spell so broad that it would find it quickly.
And that would be powerful magic too. That would attract the attention of the giants.
Right.
So, yeah.
Probably what I should do, right? I should just roll for the day.
Man, 6 years of playing Karandrin, I can't even find a secret entrance.
That's right. Not on a whole mountain. You remember the dwarves in The Hobbit, they searched all over for the...
Yeah, that's right.
They couldn't even find the passage up. And then when they found the passage up, they couldn't find a way in.
Reminds you of that time I accidentally found the secret entrance to Volshad's. Or I didn't accidentally find it. I was following that pipe right down the mountainside and came to the secret entrance where that bone creature was. Yeah,
that was crazy. I was thinking about that the other day because just the ribs were teeth and just chewed on you and you were going to get lacerated and so on. But fortunately, you had your spear up. And so it was chomping down on a spear. Quinn is cranking out the fun facts. Electrocution, according to the wiki, is a portmanteau of the words electrical and execution, though it also applies to accidental death or even just severe injury. Well,
I didn't know that. It's funny. What a natural sounding word.
It is. It's so, yeah, right. You think it arose on its own.
Right.
Not what sort of, I don't know, synthetically, created in the moment. Roll for me.
27.
Yeah. Well, you suck. So there's that.
Thank you.
I think what else he might know. Those aren't exactly in a hurry to run out there. I guess you could be looking and talking at the same time. There is. Again, where's that spell? I shouldn't look here anyway. I should look somewhere else. She looks at you and gestures whether it's time to go or not. Unless there's more to say, unless you want to.
No, I can't think of anything. And more to add to our situation. So I just say, let's do our best just to search on foot for today.
You guys emerge. Azrael's had little luck in the half hour. Comes to your call, your mental call. Your call says, let's, as best we can, keep under the canopy. And where we can't, let's make haste and dash from cover to cover.
I was just thinking, I don't have any allies that have bird familiars, right? I know I have that one that had a cat familiar I teamed up with at one point.
Yeah.
I thought I had someone else who had a familiar, but it wasn't a bird. It's fine.
Yeah, it's a weird way to consider your allies, right? What magically bound pets do they have?
Although it's possible, I just go to a Adventurers Guild and put out a note for anyone with a bird familiar.
Yeah.
Find a spot on a mountainside. I'll pay you 50 gold pieces.
50 gold to face giants? You're out your damn mind. That's what
you don't have to know they're giants.
Oh my God. You're just gonna bait and switch them. It's fine. No, it's
you're gonna show up there. I'm like, oh, what? They're giants? Oh, how did I miss that?
Sheer call. You didn't tell me there were giants here. You get that short sword up your ass. That's what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
So away you go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Up. There it is. It's only a matter of time. Been traveling about 2 hours. It's now very late morning, almost noon. Downslope, somewhere ahead, is the sound of major limbs creaking, leaves being shoved aside, just, like a huge wind, messing with a very small set of trees. Not visible. Azrael does not like giants, apparently. Climbs up your leg and is on your shoulder. Sheer Call says, they can't hear us.
Right.
They can see.
Right.
So let's just keep to the cover and keep going. Another hour passes. The sound is getting louder.
Yeah, it's hard to tell how close they are because they're so loud, but could still be a mile away.
Right. Flocks of birds are being disturbed. Looking downslope now. Several hundred yards. You see trees moving. Birds leaving the trees. And there they are. Stepping in a clearing. A giant and a giantess. "30, 35 feet high. The trees still sort of tower over them, but they still have to push their way through.
Right.
And while it seems entirely unlikely that they could tear a tree up to throw it, there are so many boulders that they could throw who knows how far.
Basically pebbles for them, yeah.
That's right. Fun fact, Quinn. Bouldercution is a portmanteau of the words boulder and execution.
Rockcution.
Rockcution.
You go to a concert and you headbang too hard.
That's right.
Rockcution.
That's right. One has what is for them a hand axe. What would be for you unliftable. The other carries a crude, thick-bladed short sword. That's the male. Sheer call points ahead of them. She says, if you study closely, you can see, can't you? The upper branches are sort of bare. You can almost see their path from here.
Okay. Through the trees.
Yeah, sort of an aerial path. Where if you're on the ground, you definitely see it, of course. Massive footprints, or at least where the ground is yielding at all. But flattened vegetation, flattened shrubs, and brush and things like that. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem to be in a hurry. Maybe our luck will hold. There's also only 2. If there were 3, I'd be very worried.
We could take them. Yeah.
No, but a change is bad. You can't help but watch them until they really are just emerge back in the forest with just not more than 2 or 3 strides. They're just something to watch.
Yeah. Hard to fathom, even if you're looking right at them.
Yeah. Oh, I need to check something. Hang on just a minute. Sorry. This is something I should have done back when I was conscious. Not there. I'm wondering. She's clearly, both of you are clearly racking your brains trying to figure out a way to make this in any way easier.
Right.
Where the dang? There we go. Anytime now. There we go. Detect all these things. None of that is helpful.
Detect. I do mention, which I'd forgotten until now, but I say I do have the spells Summon Lesser Species and Control Animal. Now that we
my God,
able to. Is that in reaction to me, or did you see something?
No, that's in reaction to you.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to see what they see, right? There's not my familiar.
No.
At least you
could talk to them.
Right. Now it is a little bit of an upper level spell, level 6 into level 1. So it could be dangerous to cast, but if we can't find it, it might be our best bet.
I think it's worth it. It's only level 6. Let's see what she says. I think we should try.
Okay.
Summon Lesser Species. That's from Familiars. And that's like really low level, right?
Level 1.
Yeah. So
And
that's the little one you were talking about, right?
right. And then Nature's Law is level 6, animal tongue / control animal. And that'll last for, 15 minutes.
So let's find. All right. So an animal species. So what you need is an animal with considerable flying range.
Right. Less than 20% of caster's weight. So just have to be, falcon, eagle.
Yeah. It's slow acting.
Find a flamingo, Kevin.
That's right.
They'll be here in 3 days.
Um,
Flying from the south.
So yeah, it takes 1 to 6 hours for members of the species to approach you. They'll hover, they'll remain within about a 10-foot distance. And of course, you don't want to spook them, but that will give you the ability to cast animal tongues, control animal.
Right.
And you can interrogate them. Hmm. I think we should do it. This may solve everything.
Okay.
So
let's find some shelter.
Yeah,
we can hide for the next possibly 6 hours, and then
right.
I'll go ahead and cast the spells.
So yeah, you guys back up against a tree. It's close to noon. She breaks out rations for you both.
Okay.
So you're casting this from a tome?
Yes.
Okay.
I take out 2 tomes.
Yeah.
For my bookcase of holding. And I will, fully take the time to concentrate on the spell.
Right. All right.
And again, when it says species, just large predatory bird or falcon. It's kind of what I'm going for.
All right. Roll it up.
Okay. Cast some lesser species, 37.
All right. Single exhaustion point.
Right.
And you guys sort of sit and rest. You eat a meal. You each gain 15 exhaustion from eating the meal.
Great.
Let's see how quickly we get a response. Early afternoon, you get two raptors, one larger, one smaller. They land on the branches and the canopy of the tree.
Okay.
Let's see. And so they will just hang out until you cancel the spell or 6 hours pass.
Right.
I guess it does matter if others show up because that gives you another person to question.
True. Yeah, and I was thinking I can ask them if they've seen this spot, and if not, then I can send them, to go investigate, try to find it.
Yeah, because you would have control of them. What's the range of control there?
It says 50 foot plus 10 foot of level, so it'd be 150 feet. It's not too far.
Not too far, but you really want them to go up.
True. They could see
And-
a lot from 150 feet up.
Right. And you can, of course, do this repeatedly. So I think you found a decent way to scout the mountain without using a ton.
Hopefully, I was going to fumble it.
This is true because fumbles can use an untold amount of magic from you and from other sources. So, bigger or smaller bird, choose.
Let's go with the bigger one. Have more wingspan, maybe more
Right.
older, been around longer. And I'll warn Sheer Call is, not the best at casting magic, so bear with me. If you see any sudden flashes of light,
Oh,
that's according to plan.
That's right. The smell of seared flesh. I don't know why you're worried about it, but
Either I'm gonna control this bird, or we're gonna have dinner.
control the bird, or you're going to have me for dinner because I will also be cooked.
Well, I'll be cooked. I wonder how roasted lizard tastes. Anyway, cast animal tongues, control animal. 23 from the dome.
9 exhaustion.
Okay.
Spell is a success. Bird stands, looks at you, stands sort of more upright, focuses specifically on you. What would you like to do?
I say
what's the duration on this thing?
15 minutes.
Okay.
Wait, is that right? Yeah, 1 minute plus. Oh no, sorry, 11 minutes. Cast from the tome. So I say, "Good day, sir." No, looking for a spot on the mountainside, and I will describe it as I've said to you. Series of boulders that look like, I point at my leg, that look kind of like this, bent at the knee. Also near a tight band of trees growing on a level stretch of meadow on this side of the mountain. Have you seen such a place?
Yes.
What
93. Yes.
Awesome. What direction and how far is it from here?
Upland and away from the sun. A short flight.
Okay. I asked the bird.
Oh shit! What you need is some way for him to mark it for you.
Yeah,
his short flight for you is going to be hours of climbing.
Yes, I was just thinking he can even fly. We can start following him, but the spell's going to end before then. I ask, from here, between here and there, is there any landmark? Anything else unique about the landscape?
The old cherry is between here and there. Halfway by wing.
Old cherry tree. As for clarification.
Yes.
I asked, does Brise know what a cherry tree looks like?
Yes.
Okay.
The thing is,
Again, I would be there seeing it from above.
Right.
I would need to find it.
It's weird. It's like, it really is, it's tough for me to game master because I'm you, right? I'm bipedal. I don't, so I have to go, no, you can't give them, oh yeah, you got to jump over this stream. There's a stream there.
Yeah.
No,
there's an enormous cliff separating.
Right. Which would be interesting to him in a sense, right? Because cliffs cause updrafts and things like that. So, and it would be visible, as a landmark for him. One of the great QI things we learned was that when you say as the crow flies, if you mean it technically, then it's no faster than you driving your car. It's the same route you would take driving your car. Because crows have learned to use human landmarks to navigate. So if you say, oh, I want to go, so they use, London as an example, or from London to a different city. They're like, well, they would follow a human highway and they would go up and then they would take that left and they would follow that road to the city. And then they don't go A to B. They use landmarks like we do, and human landmarks are now very easy to follow.
That's interesting because I thought most birds also have like an inbuilt sense of navigation, though, so they know.
Yes, in terms of north, south, that kind of thing.
Right, but if they want to get to a specific place,
there's no pin drop there.
Yeah,
that's tied into that general sense of magnetism. So
what you're saying is the birds should be paying taxes to use our landmark.
No, because here in America, no one should pay taxes. That's what we've learned.
Well, the birds don't pay taxes because they're all government spies anyways.
That's right. They're not real. Yeah. That birds are fake.
Real. Read it on Quinnipedia.
That's right.
Okay. So
so then there is an escarpment. He says it's no good, but you don't know really what that means.
Remind me, an escarpment is kind of like a ledge.
Cliff. It's like a ledge with a drop.
Right.
So technically a cliff, I believe, can be an escarpment, but I always tend to think of them as smaller as cliffs, but maybe that's something else Quinn could look up for us. Escarpment.
Escarpment just feels like it's something smaller, right?
Right. Yeah. And that just may be a connotation that I cannot support. Mm-hmm. God, is there any way? I mean, he could probably make it in 15 minutes, probably. What could he possibly?
Could you fly there and poop every 10 seconds? We'll follow the trail. Oh my God. I mean, is a control animal, right? Is it crazy enough for him to say, could you fly in that direction and every so often
use your watch.
Okay.
Carry this hourglass. Now listen.
It's crazy. Oh my God.
I mean, we just can't think of anything.
I mean, if we know the direction and we have the bearing, it'll be a lot harder to miss. I guess worst case, we travel for a couple hours and then
have to try this again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I suggest that just your call. I say, we might just go in that direction. After a couple hours travel, if we don't find it, try this again. Triangulate.
Eventually, the birds all go report you for harassment to Lady Crom. It's like, I'm sick of answering questions. Like, I'm there eating a nice, tasty bunny, and then I get summoned, and I fly over there to see what the hell he wants and she wants, and
You
then
asked about this cherry tree. I don't know what.
exactly. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think it's the best thing you can do. So release the birds.
Yep. I'll cancel both spells.
Okay. We're very lucky to be this near. We could have easily been a mile down slope and had no idea.
Mm-hmm. I'm just thankful. Yeah, the birds know. They've seen it. Been in this area.
The going gets impossible.
Oh my God.
As in, how easy is the trek? It is 01. Which means you are flatly stopped and have to work around. You can no longer,
Right. Impossible forward progress. Oops.
All right, roll.
42.
Okay. Weird. There's lag on your end. I heard you say 42 and your mouth did not move.
Oh.
Um,
Hopefully that is temporary.
you find a much easier way to go, but it is costing you, it's throwing you way off track. Very, very far to the west. It's late afternoon. You've made no progress in elevation.
Damn.
It's been either impassable growth, dangerous slopes, unclimbable slopes.
I like that cheer call. I have, I guess if it's still an hour or so away, we'll get there and it'll probably be nightfall.
It's probably going to be much further than that. You guys don't feel like you've really made any progress. I mean, not really.
Right.
I mean, I guess you might be more directly underneath it, maybe. But you've made no gain in height.
I tell her, so I do have a potion of flight. If it's a short flight, perhaps we can only be above the trees for a matter of a minute, just to get over this growth.
We're so close, but we have time. Okay. You've not been spotted.
It's my impatience coming. Yeah, but we're gonna be here forever.
And she spends some time calming you down. The bigger problem is that there's no good campsites. This is going to be wrap yourself in blankets, prop against a tree, hope to get some sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, presumably, Quinn, you could slaughter it for food.
Yeah. That's a great, told you about that,
especially the lying birds.
Wizard of Earthsea moment where he's like, if you could just summon, if you know the true name of an animal, you can just bend it to your will and slaughter for food. And he's like, why would you do that? That's to destroy the balance of magic itself.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh wow, wizards just don't do that.
Yeah.
And when you start to do that, the whole world starts to fall apart. So
they're
not Karandrin though.
We don't care. This world was off its rockers as soon as we knew who created it. Um, so, um, she argues, um, let's just take what rest we can, maybe go another hour just to find a decent campsite.
Okay.
But if we don't reach it by the end of tomorrow, then we may have to risk using the potion.
Okay. Now, I didn't even think about this, but can one person flying support another person?
Oh,
I guess I could cast levitation on her and then drink the flying potion and she'd be weightless, right?
Right. Effectively. A lot tougher to control the flight, especially with drafts coming off the mountain.
Yeah.
But it does feel like it's within reach,
Okay. Just a little more pushing ahead, maybe another day.
Right.
Okay.
You guys go for another half hour. The sun is low. You do find a narrow ledge with soft soil and soft grass. Not room for tents, but definitely more comfortable than rock and just blankets.
Right.
You said, oh, excuse me, Azrael to go hunting. Yeah, thank you. She again breaks out her rations, so you don't have to erase any.
Okay.
You guys are both worn out.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be
day of climbing over the mountain.
Yeah.
Fighting.
So I don't think there's any hope that either one of you are going to keep watch.
I can, yeah. Again, been casting a lot of magic. I offer to catch watchful strength. We think it's wise to have anyone detect if they're coming to my campsite.
She nods wearily. She's already rolled out her bedroll.
Okay.
You guys are basically going to be sleeping shoulder to shoulder. It's pretty. It's almost really shoulder to knee. You guys are
Right.
kind of staggered
Right.
onto the softest parts of it. There's some chit chat, and then you guys fall into a deep sleep.
There we go.
What do you say to us getting to morning, and then maybe we'll stop there?
Sure.
Because I don't think we'll have time to get you all the way to the tunnel entrance. So roll your 3.
All right. That's a 90, a 40, and an 87.
Let's see what she rolls.
What is this stop? This formatting is driving me crazy.
It was a cold night this high up. Some cover from the boulders and so on. You dreamed a peculiar dream in which Azrael and you are both cats, You are both pawing at entrance that is barred by a stone door. You turn to the lower part of the door where it meets the ground. Try to dig, finding only stone. Each of you make another attempt, sort of clawing at the side where this stone door leads into the side of a hill. And you dig through the soil. You find the soil getting away. And there, the door sill, part of the door sill is revealed. Bearing repeated symbols of the 9 stars.
You're saying that the sill of the door, like the side?
What is the side? I don't know if there's a term for that. The what?
The frame?
Yeah, the door frame, yeah. You're awakened by a jostle of your knee. The sun is already clear of the mountains. There's a small smokeless fire burning.
I wake up. I think I've created a new religion. We all need to be cats.
We all need to be cats. Or performers in the same. The smell of cooked whey bread greets you as you rise. She takes a piece, that's sort of balanced on a forked branch and sort of hands the branch to you carefully. She nods to you, says, "We lizard folk cannot bear another moment of cold up here." She's got 2 tin mugs, and she has this little camp kettle. And she pours tea, and that's where we'll leave things.
All right. Excellent.
It was a pretty fun one. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, a little bit of combat, a little bit of travel.
A little bit of tension.
Glad I thought about it. I was looking through my spells. I'm like, oh my God, yeah. Talk with animals. We'll see if it truly came in handy next session, I guess.
She was considering, and you missed thinking of, trying to reach out to any fae on the mountain.
Right.
But she doesn't have enough knowledge about how to do that.
Right.
And it's sufficiently rare knowledge. She didn't think to ask you about it. And the other thing she thought was, maybe we would be seen up in the air, but if there was any way for her to gain control of an elemental, an air elemental would be invisible, not undetectable, but would pass, right. It would take magic to detect it. So anyway, well, gang, thanks for joining us. That is another episode in the books. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed it. If you think we're doing a good job, hey, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you think we're doing a great job, hop to donorbox.org and send us a little love. Go find Max's YouTube channel where he discusses the role of original soundtracks and music in video games. Thanks as always to Elliot Dunovitz for their terrific character art that we use for briefs almost every episode. If you want to see more of their work, go to www.artstation.com/Tortalua. And I've written a novel called A Shore Too Far. You can find it on Amazon in ebook and print. Max, these people have been pretty lovely. Why don't you say goodbye?
Yeah, they've been all right. Quinn's been tolerable.
Helpful. He's been helpful. Come on now.
He has been helpful. Thanks, Quinn. Thanks, Obi-Wan, Karen, and any other watchers. I hope you enjoyed, and can't wait to see y'all again next week.
That's right. Next week, guys. Thank you.